are, back to the stream. Another day. Oh, don't want that. The report. Excellent. Let's see. What are we doing here? Let's see. Okay, got little dude here. Welcome to the stream here. Where did I put my... Oh, here we go. Watering can. So like I was saying before, cozy game to make me have to relax. Have to play these kinds of games that I normally would otherwise feel like playing because they're too relaxing. So, but anywho, today was a pretty intense day of planning. Came to getting some of my quests updated because the players are getting new quests. Pretty much like once a month, I do a call out to the players and say like, hey, what are some quest ideas you have? What are some NPCs you may want to meet or interact with? Anyone out there you want to contact or anything like that at all, really. So the players. Hey Sam, we had our quest call today. It took a lot of time because, man, one of the times where I think I really got more more requests than I need to really kind of just process and go through. It isn't a bad thing, it just takes time to do. But very, very curious. The new threads tab that's open now that the players have. Oh, my chickens. I almost forgot about them. The new thread tab is interesting, seeing players go through their notes and seeing, you know, just what quests may have been dropped or what threads may have been lost. I don't know, it kind of makes me feel like there's someone paying attention to all the things that I'm doing in a good way. But yeah. So let's see what else has been going on. Got a quest today. Okay, nice to meet you. You know, one thing about this game I'm really gonna try to do is normally I play this game and I become like the most efficient and motivated and I don't know, organized person, much more than I ever am in my life. What do you want? You want an egg? I'll give you an egg. Okay, she didn't really like that. So I'm gonna try for this run here to really not like just focus on that and try to actually build relationships with these NPCs here, the townspeople. Yeah, it was nice seeing too, Sam, I agree, the people going through the notes and talking about I shouldn't have bought these beans. Seeing everybody go through the notes, seeing everybody kind of talking about like things that have happened, and it's one of the things that I love about the game just the way that, like, you know, like, while people do share information and converse with each other and give each other updates and stuff like that, there's still like a lot of information that's just been received in bits and pieces from different people. And you know, there's always the way people remember things, and um, I'm generally impressed a lot of times by the notes that some of y'all take here. But um, yeah, pretty fun stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm gonna try to get these. Try to spend more time with the NPCs here, which I normally never do. Normally, I'm like, gotta get the farm up and running, and that's my focus, and that's it. So, what's going on here? Oh yeah, the laser puzzle. That was great times. Good memories. It was funny, like Ryan said, like the quest that we did the other day, going down below ground and seeing the mongrel folk there, and you know, it being a mystery. It did kind of feel like the early days of the Midnight Pact. But yeah, there's just so much information that's just hidden, compartmentalized between different people. Seeing different people remember different things. It's always fascinates me what things people will remember versus what they won't. So, what am I? But new quest day is always very funny. Just because it feels like another way of me kind of introducing, or I guess putting out there like what's going on in the world. So yeah, exciting. Exciting times. I also found it funny, sometimes, you know, you get quest requests that are like from different people but for the same kind of things. So that's always cool too, to see. Here's all this stuff. About that. I'm gonna go fishing. It's always cool to see other people showing like interest in the same quests. That's always cool. But yeah. And then I think, even though even though players, you know, have their notes and stuff like that, the quest call usually is when the players can let me know like what's on their minds, what's kind of like important to their characters, what's gives me more insight into like what's at the forefront of these players' minds. So I always love quest day, but what's this? I got to relax. And Sam, we finally got to go through clearing the Dragonlands of its radiation here. It's a pretty big deal. Long time coming. Long time working towards this goal here. That I don't think at the beginning, when you first made Goggles, this is what you were thinking was going to be happening. It's been an interesting story, interesting development. There was something I wanted to cover, but I can't quite recall. Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh, my mic volume was way lower. I just realized now. Okay, that should be a lot better. Let me know how that works. There's gonna be a delay. But yeah, in case you couldn't hear before, I was saying how I bet you didn't think that this is how things would go with goggles here when you first made them, or that you would be at this point making trying to save the world, or clearing the dragon lands of the radiation and trying to restore their homeland to them from when goggles first showed up. Thank you. And nope, the whole scheme behind the Gogs backstory was to make sure there'd be a dragon. Yeah, definitely dragon fights for sure. It's Dungeons and Dragons. But um, the whole, restoring the dragon lands. No mods on here. I haven't played since like 2017, 2017 really. Tried playing once with my daughter. She didn't really take to it. But since I haven't played since then, and they've done all these updates and this new like kind of map layout here too that they have that lets you start out with a chicken coop. Oop, I always forget that happens. I decided to just give this another clean try here. It's been some time. I was also thinking of other games that we could do and play. I was really upset last night. Um, you would not believe. So there's this game called V Rising. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it before, but it's a vampire survival kind of game. The kind of game where it's raining, and I heard the weird noise. Uh, let's see. Okay. So what I was saying. So V Rising, it's a great vampire game. I love it. Uh, it was in early access for a long time. Finally did a full release, so I started playing it. Very, very fun game. I got to like level 50, and I was very annoyed to learn that the server that I joined, despite it being called like, you know, US East server or something, I still, I thought it was an official server that wasn't going to close. So when I went back to my game after like, I don't know, like 20 hours of progress, I'd say, uh, I found out the servers were disconnected. And since everything exists on the servers there, that meant that all of my work in my game had all been gone and removed as well. Because it was a PvP server. So I was very mad because all my progress, everything had worked up until that point, was all just erased and gone. And I was like, okay, am I going to start a new run now? A new game? Do I start a private server? Do I do another PvP one? And then that kind of thing just really makes me lose, I don't know, the desire to play. But yeah, sad times, sad gamer hours. Yeah, I just hadn't done any or much in my other games, but now there's some level of trying to not kill dragons. Yes, eventually you circle around from killing dragons to not killing dragons. I mean, I don't see how people. The game's called Dungeons and Dragons. A ripe parsnips. I'll take this, sure. Close on one things. I gotta remember these things. Um, the game's called Dungeons and Dragons. You know, you gotta have dragons to fight. Only makes sense. But I definitely was. I think that there've been a lot. I don't know if there's been more dragon fights or less dragon fights than I've done in my previous campaigns, because I don't really tend to shy away from dragons, and I'm really trying to think. Because I've also done a Tyranny of Dragons campaign, so they obviously you know, against the cult of the Dragon Queen, and so a lot of dragons in that one, but this is up there for sure. I experienced that with one of the NBA 2K games. Oh, yeah, when all that progress is lost, God, it sucks. And what's funny is that like I've been trying to like only play this game for streams essentially because it's like not super heavy enough that I lose concentration too easily or need to be like all my attention devoted towards it. Um, but I did find myself thinking like, okay, I need a little bit of like just fishing time, relaxing time with some of Stardew Valley here. At some point, I will need to step away for a little bit because my sister is taking some photos. But yeah, Stardew Bait. Okay. But yeah. I've got to remember all of like the schedules and the idiosyncrasies. It's pretty funny. It's how like TikTok sometimes like well probably because of the streaming to Stardew Valley on TikTok. Um, but I got like a one slide that was like every like cheat sheet you would need for Stardew Valley. It was like everyone's hours, everyone's like likes and dislikes and all that stuff, which I found very funny. Um, that it was like, here's what you need. But how did it get to the point that Glitz seems to have more confidence in Goblin's abilities than the adult dragon seems? Well, he doesn't know that many adult dragons, but a lot of them are young. But even then, Goggles is very resilient at the very least. So you know, maybe if it came to damage and he was like, let's go attack this thing. The other dragons might have an edge there, but yeah, not a lot of them could have just survived the encounter that was had the other night. Um, and that's kind of the thing where he was saying like, uh, it's kind of the thing where he was saying like, there comes a point where, you know, we could bring these guys here, but we're mainly just gonna have to take care of them because they're not able to keep up. You know, so. But yeah, glad Glitz is involved. I'm sure there'll be more dragons showing up soon. I don't have a sword. There's the dog. I don't have a sword. Can't remember if I can go to the other place. God, it's been so long. Okay. I'm gonna try to go into the cave. Try getting some. See if I can get in there and get some ores. I don't make any progress. Actually, all my inventory's full. God damn, I need a backpack. Alright. I mean, I guess it is only like day like 3 or 4 or something like that, so 4 or 5. Not a big deal. But one of the best things about my brain is when it gives me like the answers to things that I didn't even know I was thinking about, which is honestly like how I'm building the next campaign, which is like very passively, sort of, in that I kind of think about its structure, and then some mornings I wake up and I'm like, what about this? This would be a cool idea, and that's how things make progress. But now that we're getting to like the end of the campaign, I mean, even though we still got a long way to go, but we're definitely entering like a period that's unprecedented territory for sure. But it's exciting, you know? Like I always say, I never know what's gonna happen either. So that's part of the enjoyment for me, seeing what you guys do. Especially because everyone I think has such different thoughts on like, I don't know, either what the end of the campaign is gonna look like or what they would view right? Like different people have different ideas of what success even would look like, or what a happy ending would look like for this campaign. So it's exciting. During the Q&A last week, uh, it's just funny because I try very hard not to have like spoilers and stuff like that. Um, but then people like just ask over questions like, "What about this? What about this?" But you kind of get used to it as DM. You kind of have to because, I mean, even for even for this campaign, like this recent stuff with Morgana, I told one of my friends that when I first started this campaign, and he's pretty much been like one of the only people who's known that secret this whole time. So keeping these secrets, it's part of the job, but it also feels like the wildest weight off your shoulders when it's like, oh, finally, because that's the hard part of it all, is like making sure that information is eked out and given, but not in uh, any way that is gonna spoil this party. And that's also too why like Ryan's got all his theories and all his hypothesize, whatever that word is, and some of them may be right, some of them may be wrong. But there definitely are times where players I've said something and players have messaged me like, "Is it this? Is this what's happening?" And I'm like, "Damn, they're getting closer than I thought." I am gonna step away and take a break real quick here. I'm gonna take some photos, so I will be right back. So you guys can